It's trying. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, I should say. And this is Yvette Owens from Destiny Speak. And we work with leaders and organizations to make sure that you have all that you need for process improvement and to deliver diversity and inclusion throughout your organization. We are intentional about helping you be the best that you can be and draw more engagement into your organization. Again, I'm here, Yvette Owens, and I'm here with some friends who are friends of Destiny Speak, Delpha and David, and they're going to join us today. We're talking about sharing more information about the Business Passion Summit that we're having and hosting in September 19th at 11 a.m. And we wanted to give you more information as to why should you even pay attention to this event, what can you expect from the event, and who should be attending. And so we wanted to give you some highlights there. And please share this. Make sure that others and those who could really benefit from participating in this conversation be a part of it. So I'm going to introduce Delpha and David and give them an opportunity to share about who they are and why they're here. So Delpha.
Hi, my name is Delpha DiGiacomo. You can find me most days at delphad.com. I'm essentially an engagement driver. I blog on leadership, and I'm also a mentor and a coach. And I'm happy to be here with Yvette and David to talk about this wonderful conference.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And David has joined us.
Yes. So hi, David Gallagher. So thanks for having me. So I've joined to kind of help facilitate a little bit, ask some questions. I may chime in the September session a bit here and there, but this is really the show of Destiny Speak and of Delpha. So I started a business several months ago called Leadership by Design, and it's doing some management consulting on a variety of topics with senior teams, as well as delivering leadership workshops to help managers become better leaders and leaders with purpose. So, but I'm happy to be here and happy to be part of this kind of conversation.
Awesome. And so you can see we have like-mindedness here with Destiny Speak really coming in and engaging with organizations to accelerate innovation, efficiency, really to help you get closer to that improving and increasing that profitability line, working with your leaders. So the Business Passion Summit is happening in, again, September 19th. At 11 o'clock. And we wanted to talk about why should you come? What do we mean by passion, power, and, place? Why is that so important to you, especially at this time? And I wanted to talk about what's the solution, what's going on that drove us to really want to do this. And I'll just flip over to show you a quick depiction of, we have done some research, and based on a Forbes article, these are just some of the organizations that have gone into bankruptcy during 2020. And bankruptcy is not clearly a death of any organization, but what it can do, it can really diminish people's hopes and dreams. It can really help cause people to, even the leadership, to wonder what's next. How do we get to that next place? We're convinced that if you can reconnect to your why, connect to what's really driving you, what drove you to those visions, and that's whether you're a leader in an organization or you're an individual, we all can take this time that we have because of the pandemic to really assess, what is it that I really want to do? Why do I want to do that? And how do I get connected back to that fire that I had when I maybe took the position that I have already, or maybe I took the position out of a need and I really need to get to the place that I really love. And so that's why we thought Business Passion Summit was a great topic and a great way that we can help you get to your right place, whether it be in where you are right now or someplace else. Because believe it or not, even though I showed that slide of companies that are going bankrupt, there are companies still hiring. There are companies still hiring. There are companies still promoting people within. So we want to help you come out of feeling a little bit despondent, maybe, or leaders looking like, what do I do next? Where do I go? And we want to share with you in this summit places and ways to reignite that in you, ignite some passion, think differently, right? About how we want to do that. So um, we're going to talk about passion, power, and being in the right place. And Delpha is going to really be talking about the power piece, right? So what can they expect from that power piece?
So I love that it's the three topics together. You can have fuel and power, but if you're not igniting it first with your passion, what you really want to do, really being crisp about it, power can't do very much for you. So during the conference, we're going to talk about power as momentum. How does it drive you? How do you purposely use it? Because you could be really passionate about something and not and be clear about the destiny, but you don't know how much fuel to put behind that to get to where you want to get to. So we're going to talk about how purposeful you need to be when you're using your power, power as momentum and presence, because that's going to make a difference too. So whether you're an entrepreneur and in leadership outside of work or in leadership or trying to get to leadership inside, your power in that place and in a moment where it matters and being able to identify that, it's also going to make a difference for you.
Awesome, awesome. And I'll be talking about the place component. And so some people say, well, do you really mean the literal place? Or are you talking about what do you really mean about place? So from a place perspective, we're going to share how even in the space that you're in and the work environment that you are in, the people that you are around, how you can really make that work for yourself. And how you can create an environment where people feel empowered, engaged, because engagement is critical. Critical engagement is critical for what is happening today, and we're working remotely. People and you can still accomplish so much. We're experiencing organizations that are really experiencing great results even in a virtual environment, but it's because of the place being not just a physical place, but the culture of a place. How is that? And then what do I bring to that place? Not only what do I want out of the coming from that company or that organization, but what do I bring to the place and how does that fit within myself? So you can expect to really get more around how you can assess, are you in the right place? How are you really going to use that for your advantage? And if you're a leader, how do you really create a space that will keep not only you excited, but also your teams excited and the individuals. So you continue, again, as I said, our whole purpose is to accelerate that innovation, efficiencies, and which really impacts your bottom line, your profitability. So that's what we want to share. That's what you can expect. This will be again, a few hours spending together. We will do it through a Zoom event, virtual event. So it'll be very quite intimate so that we can all talk to each other. It's going to be very active and engaging. We're going to have activities. You're going to be able to share and glean from each other in this session, in this summit. We're coming together not only to get, but to also share. And as we all share, we'll really be gleaning from a lot of what is shared and what people have to give. So David, what questions or what thoughts would you think someone might have with regards to coming into this space? I know you did ask one question before you jump in about well, let you go ahead.
All right. I do have one comment before I ask a question.
Sure.
So my comment is to follow up on your comment about culture of a place. And that is so important because all of us on this call, all of us in September, we can all do essentially the same kind of role, either at a different company or different divisions within the same company, and it can feel very different.
Mhm.
And sometimes people look at a company saying, "Oh, that's all one culture." Yeah, the bigger a company gets, no, not necessarily.
Right.
And
Exactly.
we all have that background. Uh,
Mhm.
but the fit with me and the culture is so critical for me to feel enthusiastic and feel the power and the passion about what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. And do I feel engaged in where the place is headed, and
Mhm.
what the values of that place are? So one of my questions would be, excuse me, apologize, folks, I'm still getting over bronchitis. One of my questions would be, would you suggest that this session is for a particular place in somebody's career, or could the commentary or discussion be adapted to whether I'm early in my career, mid-career, end of career, etc.?
That's a great question. I believe it could fit for all of those. If you're coming in and you're excited about um, really launching out into your what you've been dreaming about, what you love to do, this is a time to come in and say, okay, this is where I really want to do it. How do I? You then I think because now you're full of the passion, but I think that's where you really would get a big bang from what Delpha's going to share about how do you go into that space with the power that you need and really gaining that power, right? And then the place and the culture and how that fits and how you really can pay attention to that. Now, the other thing is, and which to me really is part of how I really wanted to connect with folks, is because you can be midway in your career or towards the end of career, just being quite robotic about how we go about our job. And we've lost that passion, we've lost that love, we've lost that connection for the work that we do. And so now's a great time to be able to come back in. My Edwina Cogdale, who's having a little technical difficulty, but she's going to lead the piece around passion. How do you really connect to that? How do you really reignite that passion back within yourself so that you can do phenomenal things and feel good again about what you're doing? Do you want to add something, Delpha?
Actually, there's actually a really good question on the board. The question is from it's Jess. Hi, Jess. It's how do I know what my power is? That's a great
Mm,
question. It's the first thing we would dive into in the conference, but I'll give you a little hint. Power is the thing that makes you stand up tall before you get into that room, and it gives you the confidence to do what you're about to do, even in the midst of fear. So I know some of you may know this. There's this special stance that you can do. It's called the Superman stance. You put your hands on your hips, fist them up, open wide leg stance, and you stand there for about 30 seconds. That changes the chemistry in your body and it changes the way you perceive yourself. It's automatic. So that's part of power. But how can you stand like this in a room, relaxed and with your arms down, and really be confident about what you're about to deliver, or how you're about to pitch your idea, or how you're about to pitch the promotion that you're asking for, or the money you're about to ask for in your paycheck? So it's those kinds of things that we're going to be talking about. Yes, I hope that answers your question at least a little bit.
I would say too that when you guys commented about various parts of a person's career that this might be helpful, uh, it can happen to any one of us at any time.
Anytime.
absolutely.
Yes.
We suddenly find ourselves, and sometimes it's sudden, sometimes it's like, oh, I felt this happening over the last 2 years, but I didn't realize it really,
Hmm.
that I'm not in the place I should be. And I don't feel the passion for it the way I thought I would, or the way I did for my last role, whether that was at the same company or a different company, etc. And that's okay. What's good is that you realize it and you do something
Exactly.
about it. You take some
Yeah.
action about it. Don't let it happen to you. Be proactive and take action about it. But if I'm just out of college or just out of high school or whatever, and I'm just starting my career and whatever that career is. It's good to know that, okay, these are some things to look out for as I get longer into my career, because I want to know what signals to look out for so I know when I need some help, when I need to consult with somebody, when I need to double check who I am and what made me excited to begin with, what gave me my passion at the beginning, and try to go back to that somehow.
Exactly.
That's a
Exactly.
that's actually a good point, David. Like it's interesting to see people right now feeling lost and then being afraid and not taking action because of those two feelings, where this conversation today and the summit and some of the things that we're bringing forward are tools to help people move forward in a way that's most successful and efficient for them.
Is there anybody this is an odd question, I know, to ask, but sometimes we talk about people who should attend a particular session of some sort.
Mhm.
Is there anybody who should not attend? In other words, what I'm trying to avoid is somebody coming in for the wrong reasons and
Right.
expecting a certain thing that they're not going to get, etc.
Yeah, I can tell you, at least on the power side, we're going to do a lot of self exploring. So if you're somebody that's coming in thinking they're just going to tell me so I can do it, no, we're going to at least I am going to have you do the work. And we're going to work really hard and dig deep. And it might even get a little emotional. And so you have to be ready for that. So if you're not, this is not for you.
Right. And I would say, because we're encouraging leaders of organizations, and I wanted to, I'm glad you asked that question, David, because it's all we call it the Business Passion Summit. But even if you're a ministry leader, there's a business side to your ministry, right? And so this is also good for you. And I wanted to explicitly stress that, because so many people hear business, 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 and they think, oh, it's not about ministry. It is absolutely about ministry, as well as community movements. If you're leading a community movement group, this is for you, because if you're leading a certain group of people to a particular vision and purpose, you want them fully engaged to help you get to that place. And you want them an acceleration of innovation and doing it as efficiently as possible. So you want to make sure they're in that right place. They know that they're really connected with the right group, and they have the passion and the power to help you make it happen. So it is for those things. But again, as Delpha stressed, if you're coming in just thinking that we're going to spoon feed you, you're going to get out what you put in. And I know that's a cliche, but it is so true. So we have here Edwina, who is having technical difficulty, but yay, she's here. So Edwina, if you could just introduce yourself and just share with folks a little bit about what can they expect from a passion perspective.
So I apologize. First of all, we just had a bad thunderstorm and we're still undergoing, and it knocked everything out. So I apologize for my lateness. But I'm still here, very passionate about being here, excited about what we're going to be doing in the Business Summit. My name is Edwina Cogdale. I've got over 30 years of leadership experience. I know I don't look like it, but I do. I'm leading various types of teams, and very interested in leadership org development. So that's my passion for what I like to work through. And when I think about passion, I was talking to Yvette earlier this morning. I said, what I really want to do is help the people to really understand or define, identify, and if you already know it, ignite it again, what you're passionate about. And the reason we want to get the passion is because once we define that, we want to get you in a flow. And once you're in the flow, it helps you to learn to live more optimally, to have a better experience. There's a Tyler Perry movie that I don't know if you've seen or not, but it's called The Family That Prays Together. And one of the greatest lines, I think, in that entire movie is she asks Alice, are you living or are you just existing? And I love that line, because we do want to be living and not just existing.
Exactly.
So from my perspective, that's what I would say the passion, and I'm the beginning speaker of this entire thing. So then I pass the ball off, because it's really important to have that starting place for what you're going to focus on as you continue to build your action plan throughout the event. So
you can expect to walk away with some kind of action plan. I do also want to stress that my experience being a certified change management professional, we can talk about how you actually go from where you are to where you need to be. And when can we talk about it? We are offering, everybody listen up, we are offering as a part of the summit a 20-minute coaching session for everyone for the same price, the only price of $97. $97 gets you 4 hours with us to hear how we can help you as an individual, organization, or you as a leader to bring your teams along. And you can schedule with us afterwards a 20-minute coaching session. Now, I want, for those who have never considered it, let me just tell you, coaching sessions start at $197 and above. You cannot get a coaching session for $97. You can't get a coaching session and all of this for $97. So if for nothing else, take advantage of that. Come through the summit, participate in the summit as much as possible. And then when you get to that coaching session after us, you're going to be so ready with the right questions, and we'll be able to help you really take you and your team or organization to that next place. So any thoughts or questions there, or anything anybody wants to add right there?
Yvette, I'll just add, coaching is so important. And I think some people take it for granted because we think we go to a conference, we have the great conversation, we leave super motivated, and we have our paper with the action plan, and we're like, I don't know what I'm going to do next with this. The point of coaching is to help walk you through what's the next step based on the notes you took, the action plan that you developed. We're going to ask you some tough questions about where do you want to take it? How do you want to take it? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to your family? What does it mean for your current situation? There'll be a pretty substantial conversation in those 20 minutes it's meant to propel you forward. So please don't discount a coaching session. To me, like one of the best things that ever happened to me was to get my very first coaching session a couple of years ago, which then led me to really think about, what am I doing? What's my passion? Why does it make sense? And here I am today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so one of the things you can do from a pre-work perspective is, we're talking about, do I have my passion? Am I at the right passion level? Let's say that, because you probably think you have some sort of, but are you connected with your why? Are you at the right level? Do you feel empowered? Are you in the right culture and place? And, do you feel good about your surroundings? Do some of that work, pre-work, because as you come into the session, we're going to really be delving into that and showing you how to assess those things so that coming out, you can come into those coaching sessions ready. So I'm going to be sharing a handout so you can know how to even approach a coaching session, because as Delpha said, not everybody knows how to do that. So we will give you a worksheet that will help you prepare for those things.
So Yvette, that was one of my questions about, is there pre-work of any kind that I should be thinking about? And I'm going to dovetail that on Delpha's comments about, if you're of a certain age, I'll say it that way because I am, we've all been to those workshops where we go for a week of a workshop, we come back, we go into our office, we put our notebook on the bookshelf, and we never look at it again, we never think about it again. You cannot do this type of work, especially work like this, which is very introspective, without taking very active involvement. So it's not a I don't have the words right now, but it's not a thing of passing the buck, so to speak. It is will help you, but this needs to come from you.
Right.
Absolutely.
We cannot tell you your passion. None of the people on the call can tell you what your passion is. Nobody can give you your power. You need to work at that. And so you did answer my question. You did address one of my questions. You must have been looking at my list about pre-work. Is there any other pre-work that people should be thinking about?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Again, I think, again, being able to come in knowing that you're going, what you want to get out of it, right? Come in with some expectations. And we're going to share that coaching sheet with you. We'll even, I'm not, I don't know. Go ahead, Umia.
I would just say, what started me on my passion journey was writing an obituary.
Mm.
Someone asked me to write an obituary. Okay, if you were to die, what is it that you would have liked to have accomplished? What lives would you like to have touched? And what would you like to have done? And at first I thought this is pretty morbid. But when I did it, and just knowing that I had the power of the pen to just really put out everything that I felt like I wanted to do. What is it that I want to say? And that became a roadmap for me. So maybe that could be part of it, because it's really about, as David mentioned, a time of reflection to think about, where am I right now? And where is it that I thought I would have been when I was a child? So even going back to your childhood and thinking, what was some of the things that I really enjoyed doing?
Right.
And even now, what are some of the things that I would do without even getting paid for? What are some of the things that I would do that when I start doing it, I forget all bodily functions and everything?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I've been up all night. All of a sudden, I forgot I didn't go to the ladies' room or the men's room. What is it that's pushing that maybe you're not there now, but where is it that you'd like to get? So that obituary, that was like eye-opening for me. And I took that and I just started developing a plan. And that's what has propelled me the whole time, going for everything. So that time of reflection, I think, is extremely important.
Right. And when you were talking, the other thing is, be ready to let go of what used to be. Okay. Be ready to let go of what you've been doing. And I know sometimes that takes us some time to do, because we've been doing it a long time. And I'm especially when I think about people coming from ministry or community organizations into this space, it's like, well, this is how we do it, and this is how we've done it. And even in business, this is how we've done it. We were kind of talking about that a little bit before we came on the broadcast. It may have worked for you in the past, but come open with, if I change a little bit, if I flex somehow, what else could be possible? Right? You don't have to abandon everything, but become ready to be open to flex a little bit in that space as to what could be possible if we just shift a little bit. Again, I'm coming from that change perspective. If we just change a little bit, if we think out of the box a little bit, what could be happening? So do that work again to be ready to the what if. What if we didn't do it that way anymore?
And Yvette, I think you make a great point in saying that shift can be incremental. If you just move your feet 1 centimeter away from the direction that you were taking before, you will end up in a different place. It's just little changes. People tend to be afraid, and I know I've had that fear of big changes real fast. And what do you do with that? It's really not about the big change. It's about the little changes that are purposeful, that make a difference in our lives.
And the part of the reason that, and that's even more reason that the summit can really benefit you, is because you can dream in this safe safe place where we
Yeah.
can help facilitate you through the process. It's like, you know, you've often probably had ideas about, I do want to change, I do want to do something differently, but you had no idea how. We have three, four great people here that can help you with the how and can tell you how to go about it, what you should be concerned about, what you can consider, what's possible. That's the great thing. So now you can really say, okay, I'm ready to shift. I don't might not even know where to shift to, but just be open to doing it. We'll help you with the rest of it. So that's who, again, to your question, David, about who should come. That's who should come. Those who are ready to shift with the help of this group here.
Yep. So I have a quick comment and then a couple logistical questions, just because I'm looking at the time here. So, excuse me. So, listening to Edwina's obituary, and I'll come visit, by the way.
Well, let's just say, David, I died at 105, surrounded by my loving family.
Aw.
I think that's wonderful. I'll be 110, but I'll have somebody drive me. Uh, but in all seriousness, I had somebody, a recruiter, talking to me in 2019 about, so when you retire or when you die, and that's kind of the way he said it. When you look back on your career, what are you going to be most proud of? A title, the money you made? And he stopped. And I said, no, those things are nice. What makes me proud is, did I make a difference in somebody's life? Did I
Right.
make a difference in somebody's, in a senior team's organization, in a team's success, etc.? And to your point, Yvette, this is not just about business. This is any organization. It does not matter if it's I'm coaching a football team or a youth football team, or I'm running organizing an event for a church or a community service. It can be any and all of those things, because
Exactly.
organizational structures are made of people.
Hmm.
People are people, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have some quick logistical questions for you before we hang up. Of course, you guys can go on as long as you'd like, but so, and I'll mention all three of them. You can answer them however you want to. So in September, what if I sign up? Is there going to be a recording in case I cannot stay on for all 4 hours, or if I want to watch it again, if I've registered and paid for that, so to speak? The next one is, what is the best way to sign up? And the last thing is, this is being recorded right now. So how can I grab this and maybe send it to some friends or colleagues of mine?
Exactly. Okay, great questions. So, yes, we will record it. The session will be recorded. Now, understand that we remember we said you get what you put in, you get out. You get out even greater. So your participation, if you can dedicate the time, please do so, because what you'll get on that recording is a result of what everybody is going to be putting in the activities and the feedback and so forth. So if you're of like mind, and if you're exactly like that, those people, it's going to be fantastic. But I know none of us are alike, like, right? We're all unique. So yes, you can get the recording. How do you sign up? It is right now a Facebook event. So if you go to Facebook events, you can sign up. We do have our Cash App and PayPal. If you go to those places and they're scrolling around the bar, we will get you all the logistical information to you so that you will have your registration information and you'll know how to go from there. So they're the best ways right now to sign up. This is streaming. This broadcast is streaming on several pages on Facebook. It's streaming on YouTube, and it's streaming on LinkedIn, I believe. So you should be able to share it from any of those places. Probably the easiest place is from YouTube, because you can always copy the link easily from YouTube and share it to folks. You can find me and Edwina and Delpha on all of those platforms, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and myself on YouTube, Yvette C. Owens, and our Destiny Speak Facebook page is Destiny Speak LLC on Facebook, so you can reach us there as well. I think I tried to post a link to it on Instagram also, so that, and I'll try to connect this recording there as well. So I think that's what I know that's what we wanted to convey tonight. Please do share this, share, like it, and we will come back with even more, and as we get closer to the event. But we've been through some trauma, everyone, over the last 6 to 8 months, but it really hit us in the last 6 to 7 months. But it's not the end. And what we've been through is not defining us. And this summit will give you the opportunity to define your next. And we really want to help you from each of our perspectives. And so I want to thank Delpha and David for joining Edwina and I in this endeavor. They are great partners. They've been great partners throughout the years. And so you are benefiting from years of experience right here. I think Delpha's the baby with 20 years, but 20 extensive years in major corporations, and she's doing phenomenal things. And like she said, she's continued to grow and expand herself. So we look forward to seeing you on September 19th. If you have questions, please send them our way so we can filter them and field them and answer them even as we approach the date, because we're not waiting. We're not saying don't talk to us till the 19th. Not at all. Talk to us now. Tell us, share what you'd like to see. If you want to see even more, you want to make sure we're going to cover certain topics or certain things. So again, thank you all who have joined us. I just dropped my phone. Thank you everybody who joined us. Thank you, David. Thank you, Delpha. Thank you, Edwina, for persevering.
Yes.
And we want to say good night to everyone. Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you,
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.